Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR, is the proud sponsor of the Bud Pole Award given to the fastest qualifier at each NASCAR Winston Cup race. Rookie Kurt Busch became the 15th different Bud Pole Award winner in qualifying Friday, edging Jeff Gordon for the top spot since 1979. Anheuser-Busch has awarded more than $7 million as title sponsor of NASCAR's Pole Awards program. And now, the Walmart starting grid for the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Busch and Gordon on the front row. Gordon trying to win the Southern 500 for a 5th time. Up front, Kurt Busch holding off Jeff Gordon for now. And this is the part of the race where, with a young driver like Kurt Busch, only running at Darlington for the 2nd time ever, his crew chief, Ben Leslie, is on the radio preaching patience. Don't be in I heard James Ince tell Johnny Benson this morning. I was up in the truck talking to him. James said, hey, Johnny, don't be in a hurry. We got all day. Early in the Mountain Dew Southern 500 at Darlington on TNT, Kurt Busch started on the Bud Pole, has led every lap so far, but there's a new man chasing him.
Jeremy Mayfield, the 12 car. We talked about earlier, he gets around this racetrack so well, and he's faster than Kurt Busch right now. Last time, he was about a half mile per hour faster. This time, a full mile per hour faster than average speed than Kurt Busch.
Let's get some reports from pit road on cars in the early going. Marty?
Well, let's give a hand to the leader, Kurt Busch. Allen, the rookie who sat on the pole, has led all the laps so far. Coming into today, he had only led 3 laps all season long, and they know they're probably not going to win the race today. They don't have enough experience to do that, but that is their goal, experience here at Darlington. They want to run all the laps today, maybe get a top 10 finish out of this thing, and come home with a decent race car. They say the car right now not bad, a little tight in, a little loose off, but again, not bad to Matt Yoakum.
Rusty Wallace has never won a race at Darlington, although he's been second in the Southern 500 twice. Rusty was very optimistic after happy hour. Right now, he's dropped from 4th outside of the top 10, reporting he has no grip, possibly a tire going down. He's just not sure what is wrong with the Blue Deuce. To Dave Burns.
Hey, man, if you watched our happy hour...
Hang on, Dave. Challenge for the lead here. We'll come back to you in just a second. Here's Mayfield off to turn 4.
And it's his spot right now. He'll take it right here. Now, Kurt's got to be careful. That 24 sneaking under now. He's going to have to get out of the gas, and the 24 will take the spot. That's another spot up in turn 2. If you're on the outside and you got a car underneath you, you're going to lose. You've got to get out of the throttle to get back in line.
So, second leader of the Southern 500 is Jeremy Mayfield. Gordon to second. Kurt Busch back to 3rd. They've opened up 3 seconds now on Kevin Harvick, who is the 4th place car. There you see the distance. Back to Harvick and Ricky Craven running 4th and 5th.
That's exactly right. That's about the...
Whoa!
And Kurt Busch, the 12 car, Jeremy Mayfield, was held up a little bit by the 11, had to kind of back off the throttle and ease off turn 2. When he did that, and see Dale Jarrett trying to get on the inside of the 29 car. When Jeremy backed off just a little bit, Kurt Busch jumped at that change and took over 2nd spot.
Busch to 2nd, Mayfield to 3rd, Bobby Labonte's now 4th.
Kurt Busch is in. The 23-year-old pulse here to the car is terrific. He said, don't change a thing on the chassis. He just wanted a bottle of water and 4 tires. To Matt Yoakum.
The leader, Jeff Gordon, is in the most desired stall. Pit stall number 1, 4-tire stop, a track bar adjustment, and he is not going to win the battle off pit road. They made a track bar adjustment. He just could not get his car tight. It's been loose all day.
How about a tip of the cap to Kurt Busch's team?
That was a great pit stop by those guys. 14-5, BP.
And Kurt Busch gets off of pit road with the lead.
All right, guys.
High fives. It was close, but he got to the stripe first.
Here we see the stripe. There we see Kurt Busch go by, crosses the line, and about a car length later comes the 24 car of Jeff Gordon.
Wasn't even close. I take that back. Good job by Sterling Marlin's team also to get him out.
And Dale Jarrett's team gets by Bobby Labonte. We saw Labonte have his trouble on pit road.
Rusty Wallace back in 35th place, still 2 laps down, trying to get one back if he can catch a quick caution. The leader's Kurt Busch in the 97.
Here comes Jeff Gordon, though, looking on the inside of Kurt Busch.
Jarrett trying to challenge Labonte for 5th spot. Check that. Labonte has just taken a position away from Jarrett. That's 4th place, so Bobby's up to 4th.
Kurt Busch, the 97 car, really using that high line. Do 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
There you see the bubbles over the lead lap cars, those racing for the top spot. The others not highlighted are at least 1 lap down.
Jeff Gordon about 2/10 of a second back. We'll see if Kurt Busch able to gain or lose time to Jeff Gordon. And Sterling Marlin was about 7/10.
Mixed in there among the leaders is Brett Bodine. The 11 car is the second one 2 laps down. He's back in 36th place. Made a green flag pit stop earlier, about lap 40 or so.
Same thing that happened to Rusty Wallace. He was lapped on the racetrack, but decided to go in, change 4 tires, make adjustments, and pretty soon after that, the caution flag came out, and he lost a lap, and then 2 laps down.
So impressed with Kurt Busch so far today. Even though we're just past 100 miles, he's led 30 of the 85 laps. In traffic, lapping cars. When the cars were coming up behind him with pressure tires, he's really kept a cool head so far.
You see Dale Jarrett getting by Bobby Labonte. Moves into the 4th spot.
Jimmy Spencer sneak up there.
Yeah, where'd he come from?
For the lead.
That's a hard place to pass right there because you can get down underneath them, but it's hard right here to get on the gas and pull up next to that car on the outside.
And we all know that Jeff Gordon wants the lead, but you know he doesn't want to pressure the 97 car too much because he understands that Kurt Busch is inexperienced, and if he makes a mistake, he can take him with him. So he wants this pass to be nice and clean.
Now you're Kurt Busch. You got Jeff Gordon beating on the back bumper, and Rusty Wallace fighting to try and get one of his laps back. How hard do you push Rusty?
Well, you got to push Rusty pretty hard, especially if Rusty's going to be holding you up. So, and I think Kurt wants to get in front of Rusty. There you go. And
so Rusty goes back 2 laps down, trapped in 35th place. So early in this race. Got to be frustrating for him.
Well, we saw Kevin Harvick. Again, I don't think we're comparing apples to apples, but last week at Bristol in the NASCAR Busch Series race, Kevin Harvick was 2 laps down, came back and won.
Where Jeff Gordon was pressuring Kurt Busch for the lead a little while ago, you see that Kurt has opened a little bit of a gap on him now.
Where was it that Kurt ran so well? The Brickyard 400?
Yeah.
I mean, he's had this year just a couple of terrific races. He's had some that he looked like a rookie, but a few of them, he has looked terrific. And today, I think, is one of those days he's looking terrific.
Best finish of the season for Kurt Busch so far, a 3rd place run at Talladega back in April. Kurt Busch has been the man in this latest stretch of the race. He got the lead on an exchange of caution flag pit stops from Jeff Gordon, and he has not been headed since. And after Dale Jarrett started to track him down, he's kind of stabilized the distance between the two.
Tell you what, Kurt's running a good race. He's had clean racetrack, but now this is where it's important. You got to get through traffic. And you know that Dale Jarrett, the 88 car, is very good at getting through traffic. Here comes the 97, and you're hoping you're going to get a little help from these guys when you come up on them.
But you know that Kurt Busch is not going to get the help from these guys that is Dale Jarrett would. When they look in the mirror and see the 97 car, they're going to say, well, I'm as fast as he is. I'm just trying to stay in front of him. If it was a 24, 88, 28, some of those other cars, they'd move over more readily than they will for Kurt Busch.
And that's just because he's trying to gain respect.
Exactly.
He's a rookie, and, well, let's be honest, these guys he's coming up passing are mad. Hey, this guy's outrunning me. Rookie.
A 23-year-old kid from where? Las Vegas, Nevada.
Wow.
In Darlington, where you're a rookies. This racetrack hates rookies.
Is it too early to mention that 5 drivers have scored their first ever Winston Cup wins here at Darlington?
Really?
Now, remember, we're going back to 1950 here.
Oh,
this
that
track's
doesn't
history.
count.
Now listen to the list here. You'll know most of these guys, BP. Larry Frank,
Yes.
1962 Southern 500. Johnny Mance, 1950 Southern 500, the first one. Nelson Stacy, 1961 Southern 500. Then Terry Lamonti, 1980 Southern 500, and Lake Speed in the spring race, 1988. Those 5 drivers in the 96 races that have been held here at Darlington are the only ones who have ever scored their first Winston Cup wins here.
I was only around for 2 of them. You were here before that.
I remember Terry Lamonti's victory in 1980 very, very well. As we ride along with Kevin Harvick, the GM Goodrich car.
Lead change in the Mountain Dew Southern 500 at Darlington. Dale Jarrett has just gotten around Kurt Busch. After it appeared to us, Busch really began struggling about the last 6 or 7 laps. Jarrett ran him down, and when he went by, it got kind of interesting.
Yeah, over in turn 2, here they are side by side. DJ says Kurt just supposed to back off and let me go there. Finally, Kurt did back off, or maybe when they didn't do about it, DJ takes his spot, but it was pretty close off 2 over him.
Kurt's been running pretty high. Looks like his car is loose. And when it gets loose here, you're hanging on.
I don't think Kurt knew you're not supposed to be on the outside of 2 wide off of turn 2.
And I think Kurt is doing the very wise thing. I believe that you're right, Wally. He has a handful getting that 97 car around the racetrack. So the best thing to do is, if anybody applies pressure, you've got to let him go. Because that's all he can do to drive the car by itself around the racetrack, much less putting other cars in the mix.
Right.
Kurt Busch is in the car, started terrific. He got looser the longer he ran. Really loose in the last 10 or 15 laps. Quarter pound out of both rear tires for Kurt Busch. To Matt Yoakum.
Jeff Gordon was tight in every corner except off turn 2. He's already down and away, beating everybody off pit road. They went back to their original track bar adjustment. They felt like they over-adjusted in the last stop and made Gordon too tight.
Kurt Busch is in the car, has been terrific, but on lap 175, he did brush the wall. He has a little bit of right front fender damage. They pulled that out. This will be a 4-tire stop and no changes. To Matt Yoakum.
Jeff Gordon keeps going back and forth between loose and tight, loose and tight. Now he is loose. He feels like, as he beats everybody off pit road, he feels like it's more due to the weather. So they made a half a round change on the track bar. No air pressure adjustments for Gordon.
Great run so far for Kurt Busch, who has hung in the top 5 all day long. He's up in 3rd right now, Dave. The car is a little bit tight. That's the first time all day long, however. It has been tight. They're talking about an air pressure adjustment on the next stop.
140-mile-an-hour last lap for Kurt Busch. He's not operating on all 8 anymore.
No, he's on 7 cylinders.
Man.
He has fallen back to the 4th position. Jeremy Mayfield has taken over 3rd.
What a tough break. Kurt Busch has led 74 laps today, 2 different occasions out in front. We'll follow up on the status of his car in just a moment. Busch, we will focus on here for a moment, was running in the lead for 74 laps today. Had fallen back off the pace with some problems, came back up to speed, and then had another problem. This was the second of the 2 trouble spots.
Man, that car just took off.
He hit that wall awfully hard that time. One more look as Kurt Busch goes in the corner, and there he comes. Right at you.
Now, what was the first problem, and how did it fix itself, Marty?
Well, a wild few laps for Kurt Busch. That's been left for the crew chief. What was the first problem, and then what happened the second time?
Well, I think we had an AC box short out on us, and it drained the battery down and started ignition. Yes. And then we shut everything off. I think I might have got the brakes hot real quick because we shut the brake fans off, and he just scrubbed the vents. We was in a fuel window anyway. As long as it stays green, it's not going to affect us, really.
One problem led to another, and he only lost 1 spot when he shut off the AC see inside the car, but a lot of problems for Kurt Busch, who had just done an outstanding job of being patient today, keeping the car out front and not getting into trouble.
But after he hit the wall, he had to make a pit stop, change 4 tires, and Kurt Busch is now back in 27th, 2 laps down.
Check this out. Drivers who won their first pole position this season, they've not fared well in the races where they've started up front.
And we talked about at the very top of the show, this old lady does not like young, fresh men. She likes veterans, seasoned people.
What are you trying to say, BP?
Well, I mean, she reaches out and smacks these kids when they try to do something.
The 2 rookies that started in the top 10, both had problems within, what, 5 laps of each other? Harvick is back in 25th position. He's a couple of laps down. And Kurt Busch is back in 27th, a couple of laps down. Caution. Question is, which one of them got there first? But the caution is out. Dale Jarrett is off the pace. Kurt Busch is off the pace. There's Dale Jarrett. He slowed in turn 2. About 5 cars went by him. He's fallen all the way back to 10th. He was in 4th. They get 6 cars went by.
I think Schrader got him at the line. What do you think, BP?
Well, we're going to find out.
This was to the start-finish line for the caution.
Oh.
Gordon got him.
Yeah.
Couple of feet.
I tried Nuke.
All that work. All that work Schrader did. And the caution came out right when he made the bid for the lead. Huh. Well, he may have just...
He didn't tame the lady today.
No.
He ran a good race.
I was going to say he may have just finished it off the way that right front is angled out.
Yeah, she smacked him right in the face today, didn't she?
He's going to take it behind the wall. If he were to not continue in the race, he would finish 41st. Remember what we talked about earlier? Guys got their first career poles?
43rd, 42nd.
Yeah, if he were to not finish. Kurt Busch behind the wall. Marty?
He had an outstanding run going. What happened the first time to cause all those other problems?
Roush cars usually excel at long-distance races like this, the 500 here, the 600 at Charlotte. We had an alternator go down, the battery started giving out, and the car started missing. I had to shut off all my cool box, the radiator fan, the brake fan. Shut off the brake fan, now the brakes failed, we went into the fence. Knocked the tow out, we put tires on it, went back out. The tow out was off so bad that we blew a right front and went into the fence again. So it was devastating. I knew we had a great run going, it was just a matter of something happening. It's too bad.
I know you're disappointed, but is it hard at this point to have perspective and understand the great job you did today?
We did really good. I was real proud of the guys. We gained some spots in the fifth, got a chance to lead again. We had a good car. It just got a little tight with this cloud cover. And then, of course, the battery started going dead. So it's just too bad that we didn't get a chance to go towards the end. I'm real frustrated with that.
All right, he's going to go hop back in the car, make some more laps. Obviously, they had a great chance and a car that looked like it could win the race.